The people preparing for retirement, like myself, that is 51 to 60. Then we have about 91, which is just slightly about 10%. That is the way we are distributed in terms of numbers. The next page, which is page 2, this is ethnicity. In the I skipped that one. Thank you, Chair. Okay. Then when we go to page 3, which is disability distribution, we have a total of 14 who are distributed like this. I'm not sure whether I need to say where they are, but this the first column there is departments. We have a department we call Geothamol Center of Excellence. This
CEO.
Yeah.
You're at 1.5%, isn't it?
Yes.
So just skip it. Then you will tell us why you're at 1.5, not over 5%.
Yeah. There are certain issues. The report. Then Annex 2 is the report on mechanism in place to ensure that persons with disability, women and minorities are adequately represented. We have given.
Sorry, repeat that again. What are adequately? Okay.
We are saying report on mechanism in place to ensure that persons with disability, women and minority are adequately represented. Now we all right. We have what we have given here, which is a very high level summary, and also we had developed, and I'm not sure whether we have copies, a complete list of what we've been doing.
Yes, that's fine. You'll give it to us later.
Oh, this
you
one.
Proceed with the.
So I can just.
You are A to F. Go through
A
that
to
one.
F.
Yes.
And then I can also be able to just elaborate.
Yes.
So implementation of Geothamol policy to Geothamol procurement opportunities AGPO. We have this, and for the last few years we actually have been getting excellent. So we've been giving almost. I think this year we have given. Is it 1 or 2? This is cumulative. This year we had pledged around 100 million, and we have given contracts worth about 102 million. So even before the quarter, we actually have exceeded this.
Okay.
In terms of actually this is supposed to be 205. Yes. We are supposed to give 205 by end of this quarter. Actually, by now, because the quarter is just ended.
When you see you can ask your HR person to tell us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, really.
Because we don't want you to go through. Yes.
Okay, thank you, honorable members.
I'm closer to.
Honorable members, for the ADBO, we were supposed to give 200 million, but for women we've given 102 million, for youth 67 million, for PWDs 35 million, in total 205. So we've exceeded. We are now at 102.
Thank you very much. Let's go to B.
Okay, B, implementation of gender and disability mainstreaming policies.
Those are conducted.
We have quite a bit of some information. If you chair, you could allow. I know that probably this is our first appearance, so we may have been not very sure.
Yes.
But there is quite a bit of information that we have.
Is this the information you have given to Public Service Commission also?
Yes.
This
is in our policy.
Yes, you
Yes,
made
we
the returns.
do returns, yes.
That's fine. What I wanted is if we can get a copy of that one. Yes, also. Okay, let's then proceed. Let's go to C.
If I go to C, it's a registration of GDC on the National Council for People with Disability. career portal that we have also registered.
Thank you very much. That's good. Proceed.
And then the inclusion of PwC women and minority in various committees through throughout the organization, that we have also done.
Okay.
And then wellness programs for women through medical service providers. Yes, we have provided special services for the women. And then facilitation of exemption for PWDs, and that also we facilitate.
Thank you. Let's go to page number 5.
So the other one is to ascertain the level of inclusivity in the recruitment process. GDC is registered the National Council for Persons with Disability Career Portal. So we actually registered and we actually do submissions.
Okay. Thank you.
Chair, to add on this particular, one of the latest recruitments we had was that of the managing director, and we actually did advertise in this portal, and we even had about 3 candidates who applied for the position of the managing director. Thank you.
Is this because our current one is going on retirement, or you'll be given a contract?
I just recruited about a year. Sorry, I was just recruited about a year ago. So she's just giving the process that was involved in the recruitment of the current.
Yes, yours.
Yes, to my
thank you. I thought you told us you're going to retire.
I'm also retiring, Chair, so I think we will ensure that also opportunities are also given in the future.
Yeah.
Yes. We continually make assessments whenever we carry out, for example, recruitment. Like, for example, in 2022, we had an internal recruitment. It was not external, just so that we can promote our staff. And we did an analysis, even just to see how many women applied within the company and how many, whether we had disability, also people who are disabled applying for the internal. So we did an internal assessment to just check whether we had these people who are within this category applying and being successful, and we did indeed have a few women who are able to succeed in the internal recruitment that we carried out. We have not done any recruitment per se for quite a while, but we do endeavor to make sure that we do an assessment. Every quarter, we do reports to the board of directors indicating these numbers to the board.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, members. If you have any comments, questions, kindly please start with Senator Kamau.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. First and foremost, I want to commend MD and CEO Paul Ngugi for his elaborate explanation. But Chair, I've noted that on page 4, what we wanted is demographic composition of Geothamol Development Company employees. That is what we were looking for, not whether you comply with whether you issue contracts to PWDs, people living with disability, youths.
No, that is part of extra thing they are doing.
Yes.
So that is what they are trying to tell us. Besides even this one, they are doing more. In fact, our question is not based on contracts, but I'm very happy to hear that they are also taking care of disabled and women. And this is, in fact, I'm very happy to hear that you are also supporting women and people with disabilities. So that is fine.
Thank you.
Because they are giving us extra information.
Thank you, Chair. It's time guided.
We are going to call other people for that also, but we are not going to call them again.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. It's time guided. But nevertheless, I wanted also to understand the reason as to why they have not complied with the law in terms of employing the people living with disability. That according to the law, they are supposed to be 5% of the total number of employees.
Minimum, yes.
So the minimum is supposed to be 5%. So can you explain to us what are you planning to do to make sure that you comply with the law and you do as per what the law entails. Thank you, Chair, and I rest my...
Thank you very much, Senator Kamau. Okay, Bwana CEO, you can answer that question, while you can skip the other one because...
the Chair will ask our General Manager, HR, to answer this. But in general, most of our work is very manual. And if you look at the table 1 that we've just given, you will notice that most of our employees are in the grade 8 to grade 12. And our work is field related mostly. And our work is actually very manual and field related. So it might disadvantage a bit for the PWDs, but in the offices, we actually have some. We have even a deaf person who is actually an electrician, and we actually have supported him. But I'll ask the General Manager to just expound the same.
Basically, what the Senator is asking is, what plans do you have to increase from 1.5 to 5%, and how soon are you going to do that? But you see, Bwana CEO,
yes, we are not.
You have got many stations, about 4, I think, and you need about, if I look at your program here, you have 14, total of 14. If you get another 14, it will be 3%, another 14, then 4.5. That's 28, you get about 30, you are done. So if you divide that 30 into 555, you will be, T-girl, somebody who is looking at the documents that they get, who comes out, who goes out, who comes in, and that one you can get that percentage. And these are our relatives, these are our friends, these are our people. So just tell us, what measures, what programs do you have? Very simple, because we just want to know how you are going to do it, because we are going to call you again and see what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, I want to say that for a while we have not been recruiting, except in very, very critical areas, and you can see most of our recruitment has been on contracts, because at one point the board said that we should stop recruitment until our new human resource instruments are passed. We have now our instrument were passed recently, and we are going before the board now to fill in the gaps. So now, as we now are going to be filling the gaps, that then offers our biggest opportunity to be able to actually comply with what is required of us. And this is going to happen, I know it might not happen very quickly, but within the next about a year, we should be able now to fill in the gaps.
Thank you very much. We'll again, God willing, we'll see you again after a year or so, because we keep records here.
Yes.
And so, Senator Lomane, or do you want me to go first? You want me to go first? Or you can go first?
Okay. Chair, first and foremost, I want to thank the Geothamol team for the first state operation that we have interrogated here. It is, I think Geothamol have broken the record in employing more Turkanas. At the same time, they have also created harm between Pokot and Turkana. Because you see, Pokot, Mr. Chair, they have employed 23, and then Turkana 8. So maybe the CEO could explain where the projects are, and I'm very interested in Silale. There are staff that we have employed from Silale, and if they are they Pokot or are they Turkanas? Because I know, the problem that is in Silale. It belongs to Turkana County.
Okay. That's all. Thank you.
Chair, thank you very much, and we really appreciate the question. We are aware and very sensitive to how sensitive that matter is. I indicated that most of our operations, currently the actual operations are in Baringo, Silali, Baringo going to Silali. We are actually now only starting to go to Silali, Although, Chair, I may want to point out, without getting into the geopolitics, that the people we have found there working are the Pokots. However, we are aware, according to the geography and the maps, that part of the Silali is also in Turkana South. So we are aware, but from the very beginning, we have also included the Turkana as part of the team wherever we go. So in terms of the white, the Turkanas and the Pokots, currently we are in most of our operations are in the Pokot area, and we have actually then been able to take them up. But it is also historical; it's fairly old. And as we also come near Turkana, because we also have other fields up there, then we'll also now be able to also include more of the Turkanas as well.
Thank you very much, CEO. Let me ask Madam Senator to introduce herself.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry I was in another presidential function. My name is Senator Betty Montet, a member of this committee.
Thank you very much, Senator Montet. You can now look at the documents, and then if you have any question, you can pose to the CEO or any person that, within the team. CEO, you've said you've had your HR instruments approved. Do you have the certificate? Is it from Public Service Commission or from where?
We have our instruments are coming from SCAC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know that there is a dispute between SCAC and the PSC?
Chair, we are aware.
Did you get any communication from Public Service Commission in that regard?
We have not gotten any communication from the Public Service.
Can you ask your HR team if they have a letter from Public Service Commission that you must go through them? Okay. If you don't have it, then you need to talk to them and see. Because we had a meeting with them, and they've told us, this same committee, that each person should go through Public Service Commission. Your charter must be approved and certified by PSC. So there is that dispute, but you handle it in a way you think is good for your organization. Is that okay?
Chair.
Yes.
We actually at the beginning had engaged Public Service.
Yes.
And also we also did engage SCAC as well. And while the advisories that we have received are also conflicting, we really would have, our prayer is to comply. I wish the conflict was resolved so that we will then know what to do.
Yes, I agree with you. I think we are going to handle that matter. We are going to call both parties come before us, and then we have a solution. Number two is, how long have you been in this organization as MD, and even before that, if you have?
Chair, as an MD, I just celebrated a year, actually last week.
Mm-hmm.
But as a member of the organization, I was employed as among the first ones from about 2009 August.
Okay, good. Thank you. There is this issue of PWDs you've told us. That was one of my questions, and I know the answer you've given is good. We're happy that in the next 1 year you'll have not less than 5%. There is this issue of ethnicity. You have 19 ethnic groups here, and I also understand where the project is, you must employ those guys more than others. But if you look at the diversity we have in this country today, we needed to have people from Wajir, from Mandera, from and what are you going to do? What programs do you have? Your contract is for how long?
It's a 3 years, Chair.
3 years. Now you've already finished 1 year.
Yes.
So hopefully they are going to add for you the second term also. But then tell us how you are going to to have other communities on board? What programs do you have? And also, when did you employ last, so that we know historically what is happening in this organization?
Chair, I think most of our recruitments happened mainly about 2009 to about 2015. That's when because we are a very young organization. We were incorporated in 2008 December, and the first staff came in around June, July of 2009. And some of the senior people who essentially are technical actually did come from around August, me and the others. And then we had to put in our workforce that would enable us to meet our mandate. And we actually did most of those recruitment by 2015, up to 2015. From there, we started getting various advisories, and I think from there, except for contract employees, there has been probably very few permanent jobs added, and most of them have been the senior people who come in and then go after their contract is over. But because also of the job requirements, sometimes especially on areas, especially the Banjul area, so some of these areas that's where we've been now employing the lower people. But if you look at up there, we have, I know that the question was, how are we going to have the face of Kenya? Chair, we actually endeavor within our ability, because the opportunities are normally open. If you look at the senior people, especially the MD is open to all Kenyans. The general managers is open to all Kenyans. The managers are also is open to all Kenyans. They are all advertised. When it comes to the others, our current policy indicates that we should give as much opportunities from within the organization, because our industry is very small. It is very high skill. Even in Kenya here, probably we are the people who are training, but we get people from university and then have to retool them or to reskill them. So as soon as we start the recruitment process, if we cannot get anybody, then we'll go to the newspapers and everybody then have an opportunity. Of course, one of the advisories is that the face of Kenya, we understand that we should have the face of Kenya, subject to them also having the qualification. So as soon as we start the recruitment, then that will become part of the criteria.
Thank you. So what excuse would you have if you have 28.7% women, you are not observing the two-third gender rule?
Two-thirds, yes. Chair, again, is the manual nature of our work. If we as we speak.
Excuse me, Fancy, can I ask?
Maybe yes.
Madam Irene to reply.
Excuse me.
Because what the CEO is saying is not going to be good with our senator here.
Thank you,
Yes.
Chair.
Yes.
And really, I would want to reiterate what the MD is saying. Our industry is highly technical in nature, and even the location of our projects are in hardship areas, and we work on shifts, whereby we cannot stop operations. It works 24 hours all through, and some of these conditions are not as conducive for women as possible. However, we do have a few who do take those jobs, but over time, what we have experienced since we began the company is that they request to actually be moved away from there, especially when they begin families, and beginning to work overnight becomes a challenge for them. So we are highly technical in nature, Chair, and we endeavor to give opportunities to the female gender, but you find that a number of them, and even generally those who have done STEM, these science courses, you'll find even when we do the adverts, the applications, the applicants are mostly male in gender, but we do give priority to those females who apply.
So,
but it is also historical in nature. This is considering we have not recruited for a while. Even the numbers we have here are actually historical in nature. We will endeavor to improve.
Wanasio, you know, after this we give a report, and the report we are going to give is like you've not complied on the gender, and also people with disability and regional balance. But what I wanted you to do, I want to ask you, did you get any interns from Public Service Commission?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ask them to give you more women so that you get the 1.something%? You didn't, of course.
Well, Chair, I think they are normally just given to us.
Yes.
But now that we are advised, then we'll then be able to say, as you consider, please give us more.
That 1% is only 12 women.
Yes. We actually, when we look at, I've just calculated, Chair.
I think the excuse the ladies, Madam, is giving is not that good, but let us keep it that way. How many interns did you get? Don't tell me you don't know. Because we have figures from Public Service Commission.
We got about 45. 45?
This year.
Yes.
And women, how many women, how many male?
That one I'll let confirm, but
Okay,
it's
no
about...
problem, no problem. Okay. You, now, please.
Chair, maybe just to write on that,
Yes.
but I was really waiting for her to answer how many women came in or you got for internship. Do you have any plans in future to have mentorship sessions with girls, university girls or girls' schools, so that at least we can encourage girls to also join the profession?
Okay, we have various, apart from the fact that my MD has talked about the condition of the working condition, which is discouraged in the girls. We have put in a lot of measures to ensure that they get attracted to it. One of them is what you're talking about, mentorship. We have mentorship, especially the technical managers or senior management. They go to schools, talk to girls, and encourage them to STEM. We've put up lactating facilities because we have scientists who go in search of the samples and all that in very far areas. So we've put up lactating facilities so that if you're a mother, you can leave your milk or something in a safe place. So those are some of the measures that we've put in place to attract girls or ladies into geothermal.
So thank you very much.
Yeah. I just got worried because the way the MD and the lady there put it.
Allow me to finish, then I'll kill the. I have only 2 questions left.
I'm writing on the same.
You're in the same.
Yes, I was writing on the same. I said I was just worried because the way they put it is like you would always brush off the ladies who apply for jobs. Because I'm sure we have scientists who are ladies.
Yes.
But the way they're putting it is like, in fact, using her words were naturally what you've seen. Ladies asked to be moved away from workplace.
Thank you, Senator. Basically, you have only 1.7%, short of only 1.3% in fact. So, yeah, I think, tell us how you are going to...
Yeah, just to add on the same. We actually are even seeking funding for women in geothermal as a company. We're actually trying to get monies to sponsor and support them so that they can not only can grow. But Chair, to look at the numbers, I've just calculated that if we were at about 1,000, we only need about 44 additional of our ladies. So that's not a very big number. Because for a while we have not been able to recruit, this will be one of the criteria, even as we go through what we have just reported. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, before I give it to you, I want to, you are talking about temporary I think this is people on contract. So how many months contract do you have? If you have 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, tell us, because it is not indicated here. And then what do you do after the contract expire? And then you report to PSC or get authorization from PSC. And finally, you have people who are 51, 60 years. So how many are at 6 years now? This is very important for us because of, sorry? Yes, succession plan. Yeah, thank you very much.
The contracts are normally 1 to 3 years. Many of them, whenever they come to an end, we renew. And this is because of the fact that, as I indicated, we had, the board had asked us not to stop recruitment until we have our new instruments. And now we will now be considering, now even those who are in contracts who have gained experience will be considered now for permanent. That is.
In that case, you're going to do internal advert or external?
The instrument.
Because you have already
yes,
people who have worked
yes,
for you
yes,
for many
yes,
years.
Yes.
It is not fair to advertise externally while you have people qualified and who have been with you for many years.
Correct.
So how are you going to deal with these things? How are you going to advertise now?
We will, the procedure that is given in the new instrument begins by saying we must look at gaps. That comes from the departmental heads. The second issue is that for all grade 4 and below, the first opportunities are for those who are internally. So we will do, first of all, an internal recruitment, and only where we have gaps, then we go external.
Thank you. And the over 60?
Over 60, I think we are not many. As we have indicated, essentially from 50 to 60, 51 to 60, we are only about 9. Is it 9? 91. And I think the numbers from about 55 to 60 are not many. The numbers I know.
If you have them here, fine.
60 it's not there.
If you don't have them here, then you can provide.
Yes, we can provide.
Yes. How many days do you want, Panasio?
I think this is data that's available. We should be able to provide in a day.
So thank you very much. Then we expect that on tomorrow. Thank you very much, Senator Lomonen.
Chairman, I think the page 2, the CEO was submitting. He skipped page 2 of the democratic.
Yes, I told him to skip that one.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, because it is very clear. We know. Yes.
I have an observation.
Yes.
About marginalized groups. You see 1, 2, 1, and 0, something.
Mm-hmm.
So even before asking, receiving the response, if you see Kikuyu is 157, Kalenjin 135, and you see, I don't know whether among the Kalenjin or they are separate. That one will be answered. So that means, Chair, if the numbers, the highest numbers of Kikuyu are 157, now 135, then plus or code, how do you expect the decision that these people make?
Okay.
The decision that these people say something make, it will automatically marginalize, continue marginalizing the marginalized groups.
Mm.
Second, Mr. Chair, we want also them to explain how these senior leadership positions are distributed, because they have not mentioned from this senior management, marginalized groups are represented in this position, no. I would also want to see you to clarify that.
Okay, thank you. So that means you want question number 1 is on page 2.
Yes.
And on that page 2, we have 4 communities at 65%.
Yes.
These are the Kikuyu, the Kalenjin, the Luya, and the Lu at 65%. And only Kikuyus are, this is number 1, item 1, they are 65%, 36%.
Yes.
So what you're asking is, and this is the question I have asked earlier,
Yes.
how are you going to accommodate these other people, so that the face of Kenya is seen. And he gave us an answer. He can answer that again. Then number two, you asked about another question you asked.
Composition of,
Yes. So CEO, if you look at GD1 is fine. You tell us from where, which community, and then GD2, GD3, and the middle management also. If you don't have it now, we will ask you to give it to us tomorrow. So,
Chair, let us thank you. I think that's the best way, so that we do not have to. We will then be very
no problem. You can send it. We look at it. We have a meeting on
marginalization.
You already answered it.
Yes.
But you can again.
We said that as we are actually moving north, we are now including all the other tribes, especially within the areas of operation.
Do the CEO confirm kwamba these 157 and 135, their projects are dominated in these areas of Kikuyus and Kalenjins. Is it true?
Chair, first of all, I said that these are historical. That's the first point. The second issue is that we started in many.
CEO, the question he's asking is, let's say, for example, Kikuyu. What projects do you have in Kikuyu land? Then Kalenjin, what projects do you have in Kalenjin land? What do you have in Luya land?
Yeah.
Those are the four major ones, and then the Luo. What projects do you have? That's a good question. So that's what he's asking. Then if it is historical, I will agree with you. Just tell us it's historical. Injustices, in fact. Thank you.
First of all, in the Rift Valley. Geothamol is resident in the Rift Valley. Essentially, we start from Turkana all the way to the Masai land, because that's where the geothermal system exists. Now, where did we start? We started in Nakuru. So we started in Nakuru, and that is where our first project was. Part of it is in Okaria, that's where our first project in Okaria was. The second project is in Menengai, which is essentially just the next area of Nakuru. And now we are starting to move to Baringo Silali, where we are actually moving, as probably if we have opportunities, we'll also go to Turkana. As well as now we are also starting to go to Suswa. Suswa will then be in the Masai land. So our area really is Rift Valley in terms of operation. Thank you, Chair.
You agree with the Senator for Turkana that there are historical injustices, right? Yeah, I mean,
that's a
anyway,
question.
Fine.
Yes.
No, it's the truth. It's not difficult. It's the truth.
Let us not go that way.
Why, Chair? It
No.
was a straightforward question, and Chair, it was a straightforward
No,
question.
my
He's
question,
the one who said.
the way I put the question was not.
Okay, but
not
Chair,
good way
Chair,
to answer.
okay.
Let me put it another way.
Okay.
You, when CEO, as I asked you earlier, we have 65% from 4 communities. So these things were done is maybe in 2009 to 2005, right? 2015, right? So there was a problem that time. Do you agree with me? That the face of Kenya was not there.
And
Chair,
we know the first manager CEO was
But Chair,
No, let him finish.
okay.
came from Luya. That is why Luyas are dominating.
First one is from
He was called Rasa or
Luya.
yeah, he was Luya 119. And I've not seen any project of Geothamol there in Western, surely.
So yes, okay. Thank you. So you want to ask?
No, Chair, because from what he said that we are having these numbers because their projects are domiciled in these areas. But when you look at it, really, Luyas and Luos, I didn't hear you mention any project in Lowland or Luya
I
land.
think he talked about historical issues also.
No, Chair, Chair. Honestly, Chair, I think you are shielding him so much because I'm just talking of what he has said. And that is what I'm asking.
He said
And
that-
everything we try to
He said
say
two things.
you're intervening.
He said there is historical issues and also locations.
He has refused to accept that.
But Chair,
Bona CEO, can you
kindly,
yes,
kindly, Chair,
yes.
before maybe you to the CEO. You know, sometimes it's not also very nice to put some civil servants into some precarious conditions, like maybe the one that you want to expose him into. If there was an historical injustice that was done during that time that he was not in office, I think, Chair, it's in all manner of good faith that we leave it at that, because the moment now he commit himself and say that there was.
I agree with you. Let me rule. I think the CEO can answer the benefit of our senator here. Thank you.
Because while these numbers, and if I go wrong, you are our fathers, you are our mothers, you can correct me. These are Kenyans. The opportunities were given to Kenyans. Now, we can provide information that some of these jobs were actually advertised. And the people who applied then did go through a process, and they were then given the opportunities. So I wouldn't want to really tie myself to say that there were injustices, because then it would look like it was deliberate to say that we will marginalize this group against this group. I think that's where I'm finding that it is difficult for me to commit to indicate that there was any deliberate, a deliberate action to try and say that we will recruit from this and not from this. I think that's why I'm finding myself having a problem.
Madam.
As much as the CEO says that they are Kenyans, the reason why we are here to interrogate it is because if you go to Article 232 of the laws of Kenya, that will actually guide you the reason why we are here and what we are interrogating.
Okay. Thank you very much, Senator. CEO, if you are not, I think you said these historical issues, and I've said very clearly, I asked you earlier, how are you going to correct this? And you've explained to us. I think, Madam Betty, let us not commit the CEO to commit himself on something that he has not been party to. Let him just explain to us.
I was not, Chair.
Yes,
Chair, I
yes.
was not pushing that.
Yes.
It is him himself who said that. So I was questioning what he said. That these jobs, these people are there because these jobs are in their area.
Yes.
That is exactly what he said.
Yeah, local content.
Yes. So that is what I was questioning. And I would advise him also actually to look at that article and see exactly what we are interrogating.
Yeah, more.
So let me. Yes, okay.
Sorry. We could also know their status, whether in this leadership, whether this. I ask that question again, Chair. Composition. Management.
But I've already ruled on that one. So I've said they're going to bring that tomorrow. They're going to send that tomorrow. On Thursday, we'll discuss it. If there is any further question, then we can ask them further questions. So let us now. You have any other question?
Chair, I don't have another question, but I have a comment.
Kindly, please. Let's have our closing remarks now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Chair. I would wish maybe to thank the entire team from Geothamol Development Company for the work that they're doing to the Kenyans. We agree that there are some challenges in your organizations, but it's good that you have committed yourself that you're going to see to it that you try and resolve those challenges that are there. One of it being underemployment of the PWDs. The other one being the issue of not or gender and the issue of ethnicity, something like that. So I am very certain that the CEO is up to the task and is going to make sure that he does to his best. But at the same time, Chair, I want to agree with the honorable senators that have pointed it out that there has been some historical injustices. That one I can attest to it and say that truly there is, and something has to be done. It might not be, maybe it was not done within your tenure, but I believe there is something that can be done so that we see to it that it is resolved once and for all. Thank you very much, Chair, and I rest at that.
Yeah, thank you very much, Senator Kamau. To tell us, you said the GDC started operation in 2009, December. So from 2000, let's say 2008, from 2009 to date, so what have you done for this country? What positive things you've done? Because tell us what is you were supposed to do, what was your initially, what were you supposed to do, and how far have you gone, and what have you done now up to today?
Just pretty much. First of all, what are we meant to do? Our mandate requires us to do, in a high level really, we are a special purpose vehicle to make geothermal a reality for Kenya, to convert that resource. There is one particular item I just want to point out, that the carrying out feasibility study for geothermal is very expensive. And for this reason, the private sector don't get involved. They, even if they get the concessions, they normally cannot put the money. To reach a feasibility study, you need about 5 to about 10 billion Kenya shillings just to say this project is successful. So then, what have we done? We have developed 59 wells, and this is in Okaria. And today, those 59 wells are generating power for Kenya. And the tariff is actually less than 7 US cents, which is one of the cheapest. That is the first project. The second project that we have done, Chair, is that we have also drilled in Meningai, that is in Nakuru. And there we have developed a 105 megawatts project. And one of them is already generating about 35 megawatts. So in total, we are actually contributing about 355 megawatts. And remember, Chair, we are not generators. We only bring steam. So our steam is helping Kenya to generate 355 megawatts. That is roughly almost 35–36% of the power from geothermal that is actually being consumed in Kenya. We have also drilled. We have also put in water supply in from Lake Baringo to Silali. We have also drilled wells in Silali, and today, I think in the last about 6 months, I think you may have seen it in the newspapers. We have also drilled about 75 megawatts in the area called Paka. Paka. Yes, Paka is in Tiati. And we have actually also drilled the first well in Silali. That's why I was saying we are just getting to Silali, and we have sited the second well. And from this March, we have started opening up also the Suswa field. So largely, Chair, that's what we have done. And in particular, our main impact is in tariff. Because as we replace the thermals, we are able to bring the cost of power down.
Thank you very much. You can now proceed.
There was a question you forgot, and yes. You always ask that question. The question of interns.
I've asked already. I've asked. I don't know where you are. I don't normally forget. They have 45 interns.
Okay.
From Public Service Commission.
Yes.
Yes, and that's why I said, can you give us
Wanted to know
yes,
how many ladies.
how many ladies?
All
will
ladies.
listen also?
Final chair, GDC are doing a good job. As the CEO spoke, we are waiting you from the Turkana County.
Thank you.
But you have already made a mistake. When you are dealing with the Silale issue, even the word Silale is a Turkana name. So I don't want to get into politics, but one the advice I want to give you, you have to consult widely before you do anything to that area. And if it becomes a problem, then come inside to Turkana. There are so many geothermal plants there. There are so many. So you come straight away to Turkana and then you will have no problem. Instead of taking your time in Silale, which creates more harm and conflict and tensions.
Thank you very much.
Chair, I won't have much because I came in late, but I'll just ask her, are there any plans to go to Kajiado in the near future?
Thank you.
Answered, Chair.
No, he'll answer and then closing remarks. Yes.
First of all,
Kajiado. You can answer Kajiado first. Umechamuka leo Kajiado.
actually, Suswa is largely in Kajiado. It is in an area that we have part of it is in Narok, part of it is in Nakuru, but the bigger part of Suswa is actually in Kajiado. Yes, yes. Our chair is to first of all very grateful to come here. We always look at these houses for advice and guidance. And we also are aware that you are representing the welfare of us all, including ourselves. And the questions you are asking are very valid to all of us. The only issue I want just to assure the House that we have now opportunity, just as I indicated. I know that for about almost 6 years we have not been employing except on contract basis just to fill in some very needy areas. Now that we have gone through this process, as we now start to put this, we have already started looking at the criteria for recruitment, and the issues that have been raised here will form part of the criteria as we now try to fill in the gaps that have been there, including the marginalized, the gender, and the PWDs. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. And let me also, on behalf of my team, thank you very much for coming today. You came in time. And the issues that we wanted you to deal with today is issues on people with disability, which is very, very important. And then the gender issue. And I think the gender, you are almost there.
Yes.
And I don't know why you said you employ 40, even 10. If you employ 10, that is enough to get to 30%. At least even 30 is okay. So, and the other issue is ethnicity. Like our Senator Montet said, of course we do want to commit you to incriminate your former managers. But there is historical injustices, of course, not only in the geothermal, in many institutions who came before us. The only institution that I've seen yesterday and came before us, this is a sports fund. They had many people from northern Kenya than the Kikuyus and the Kalenjins, and we were very happy, and we commended them. So please try whatever you can. You are left with 2 years. See if you can manage the gap on women and people with disability and regional balance. And finally, I really want to congratulate you for what you guys are doing. Because I went to Ethiopia and I visited Ethiopia Power Company. And they have done a lot in hydro, but geothermal they are starting now. And surprisingly, they don't have those private power producers. And he told me, we went with my committee, same committee, and he told us, we don't need those people. because they are very, very expensive. That is why power in Kenya is expensive. And power, the domestic power in Ethiopia is at almost 4 to 5 shillings, Kenya shillings. So you are doing very well. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming once again, you and your team. Asante sana. Karibu. Do we have tea today? Yeah, if you want to take some tea, asante sana. And I will ask Senator Kamau to see you out. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much.
One more thing, Chair. I know it's not in order.
Yes. No problem. You can.
But whenever you are available,
yes,
please come.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, we will. Nasikia hiyo.
Tutembee Nakuru.
Yeah.
Tutembee hata Silali.
Yes.
We have a port.
But like you said, we are representing 60 million Kenyans, including yourselves. So when we talk about disability, we are talking about our relatives, friends, and family. So please try and see. The only people we've seen at 5% are just very few in our institutions, about 2 or 3 out of almost 50. So, jaribu sana. Thank you very much once again.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana. No. Yeah. Yes. Is that okay? Tuongee na madam.